Hi everybody, it's Jeff Hopper back with Tracy Hanson. We're talking about the caddy-player relationship and then also how that applies to some things in our life together with other believers a lot of times, and how we relate to one another. And last time we talked about encouraging words. This time we want to talk about truthful words. And I know one of Tracy's favorite scriptures is going to show up today. But let's start with that caddy-player relationship. There are times, even though the player is the boss and the caddy is a servant, where the caddy has to assert themselves and say, wait, let's take care of some truth factors here and rethink this. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I think, players are always right.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, or at the end of the
Until
shot.
they're not.
Until they're not, and then it's the caddy's fault. When I think about my playing experience and then this caddy experience at the Senior Open, I definitely had caddies that I respected and trusted and had the green light to come in and say, I don't think that's the right shot or the right club, or hey, let's think about this differently. With Barb at the Senior Open, it was my first time caddying for her, and so there's the nuances of just getting to know each other from that perspective, even though we're friends.
Right.
And I think there was two situations that happened. One, where I had to slow her down and say, stop, Barb, you have to trust me. And it was, things were happening really fast, we were getting timed, and I had the number and she was questioning, and I'm like, stop. And so that felt like a very assertive moment in that, and she received it. And then there was another time where I should have stepped in and I didn't.
Interesting.
And I really still don't know if I should, if it would have been helpful or not
Right,
helpful.
of course you don't know.
But that's where I've been second guessing, is could I have stepped in and actually stopped something from a bad shot happening? Now ultimately I'm not swinging the club if I'm the caddy, and so I can't fix everything. But there is moments where it is very beneficial for a caddy to say, stop, let's rethink this.
Now I'm going to ask you a tough question. We're going to make the leap to life here. And when we might jump in and say something to somebody, is there a rule of thumb? Is there a way of knowing this is the time I should step in? Or no, maybe I should hold back? Because like you said, if you hold back, there can be regret. So do we err on the side of being aggressive with our truth comments, or do we err on the side of being careful?
I think it depends on the level of relationship.
Okay.
In our staff meetings, we were talking about F1, F2, F3 friends. And so you should have a group of friends, or 1, 2, or 3 friends that have the green light in your life to say whatever needs to be said.
Now let's talk about F1 is that person that's
Really
right there.
close.
And so they're the person you can call in the middle of the night, but they're also the person who might in the middle of the day call you out, right?
Right. And I think it's very important to have people in your life like that. And I have a few of those people. And what I'm reminded of is that there's a difference between saying something very truthful wrapped around niceness versus kindness. And we've talked about this before. And kindness really is about telling the truth in love, whether it's going to hurt or not hurt. Niceness is telling somebody what they want to hear, regardless of really what could happen. And so being truthful with somebody is actually being kind, wrapped in love.
Got it. And that comes from Paul's letter to the Ephesians, where he said, speak the truth in love so that we might grow up into our head, Jesus Christ. So it's about helping each other mature, right?
And it hurts sometimes
It
when
does.
you hear truthful words that you may be just totally blind to.
Right. But that's familiar to us in an athletic sense. That what matures us, say physically, competitively, is sometimes painful. It's hard work.
Right.
Yeah.
I think about that with even some of my swing coaches, when they're telling me one thing and I'm like, no, it feels like this. And they're like, no, it's this.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I don't agree. But at the end, if you can push through that, there is growth on the other side.
Great. Well, some of you may be familiar with, in the years that Jim Mackay was caddying for Phil Mickelson, Bones had veto power once a year. And I think what we would, to put 2 videos together, encourage you to do is find someone in your life to whom you'll give veto power, that they will be able to speak the truth in love. And a lot of times you have to give someone permission to do that.
Yes.
They have to know they have freedom to say that to you.
Right.
And so we would really encourage you to find or to recruit even one or two friends to whom you say, look, I want you to step in when I need it.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, we hope that's helpful to you, and we have a few more videos to go in this series, so we'll see you next time.